we've talked about the best signatures per character, we've talked about the worst signatures per character, but now let's talk about the cream of the crop, the single best signature per weapon in Brawlhalla, you know, as finely tuned category as we can get. Now, I may actually not pick the single best option. I will pick up to 2 per weapon because I think, I mean, how do you even determine what's the best, right? It's pretty subjective, and there could be a lot of different reasons. Something could be good because of utility, it could just be good because of raw power, it could be good because you miss a ground pound and then recovery, but let's start with the newest weapon, Greatsword. Obviously, right now, Jaehyun is the only Greatsword character, so the 2 I'll pick are from his Greatsword kit. But the first one, and I think this signature is crazy, is the side sig. This signature, I cannot even explain to you how much this fills me with agony when it hits me, because let's take a look at this hitbox right off the bat. We can tell, okay, this is 1 frame apart, by the way, how he just leaps and then slams down in 1 frame, and then this is the first frame of the hitbox. This hits up to like 1.5 jump height. It is crazy. On top of that, it has a grounded splash hitbox that extends pretty far. I didn't even mean to hit the Fate there, and it hit. It's just an insane. Let's make Fate jump. Let's just see. Let's make Fate jump. Yeah, that hit. Yeah, she's trying to escape. Oh no, JK, that hit. Oh, she's trying to escape? Oh no, JK, that hit. I mean, just look at that hitbox. It's crazy. So you can already tell just based off that it's a good sig. But then add on top of the fact that it has a good amount of force, you can see she just gets sent flying. This thing kills pretty early. The animation kind of looks like a side air. If you look at the comparison between something like this and something like this, it's not that different. So in the heat of the moment, when it's like deep in red, it's hard to tell which one is which, and then obviously the amount of hitbox difference is pretty huge. And then take into account that it also has an aerial version that you can use off stage when someone's trying to recover back to the ledge. And let's take a look at this hitbox here too. Yeah. So I mean, it's got everything you could want in a move. It's huge, it's got knockout power, it's got everything. Like I said, there will be 1 honorable mention as well, which is the end sig, and I think this one kind of speaks for itself. Speaking about hitboxes, yeah, this one has a big boy hitbox too. Jaehyun's kind of the character of insane hitboxes, so you know, no surprise there. But yeah, this sig, honorable mention. Okay, up next, I mean, we're playing Jaehyun already, so might as well go to the sword signatures, because I think the best sword sig in the game is the newest sword sig in the game, and it's the pocket sand. Speaking of hitboxes, this thing is ginormous, and it's a disjoint, meaning that if you look at your hurtbox, which is where you need to get hit, or where a hitbox needs to touch you in order to get hit, excuse me, kind of tripped up my words there. This is a huge disjoint. The amount of space between where you can get hit and where your area of effect is ginormous. It's got force, it's got hitbox, it's got GC capabilities, it's got that aerial hitbox as well, so if Fate is jumping, you know, not as quite as high as the Greatsword hitbox, but I mean, it's got the reach of its own, you know, nothing to scoff at by any means. Imagine Wushang Spear Side Sig, but it's on sword, and it's better, and that's what you have right here. I think this sig is extremely strong, probably a bit overtuned, and then also, on top of everything, you're not gonna punish this move. You're just not gonna punish this move. You're not. If someone spaces this properly, punishing this move is incredibly difficult. It did get added recovery frames in the most recent balance patch, but I mean, look, no one can beat the pocket sand. My honorable mention for sword is the sword Ensig on Val. I think it kind of has everything you would want in a signature. It hits grounded, it hits aerial, it's very fast, it's difficult to punish, it's got an incredibly good hitbox. It's just, I don't know. You see this a lot in pro level play. It's not the most flashy signature, so a lot of people probably don't think it's the best in the game, but I think it's worth mentioning for sure, because yeah, again, just because it's not flashy doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't have the biggest KO potential, as you can see, but I mean, like, if you land it in the right spot, it's gonna kill. It's a reversal. Reversals are always good for that. This mob also has a big ceiling, so it's gonna be less obvious how strong this move is, but yeah, honorable mention going to Val Sword Ensig. Alright. Let me see, who's up next? Let's do Hammer. So I don't think this is gonna be a surprise, really, at all, but yeah, Lasso. This was in my top 10 SIGs video. This was in my best SIG on Cassidy video. This signature is just wild. It's literally, when I said about Val, everything you want in a signature, this is everything you want in a hammer signature. It combos out of downlight. It covers hammer's blind spot with this giant hitbox that just suctions people in. It's extremely fast. It's borderline unpunishable. There's just not much to say. And then when you play as Glowbox, you get to do it with like a frog tongue, which is pretty funny, lol lamau. So you also have that factor. You got to take that into consideration. Yeah, I don't think I need to talk about it too much. It's been in 3 of my videos. This SIG basically defines Cassidy's kit. So, speaking about a SIG that defines a kit, the honorable mention will go to... Wait, you can pick... I didn't even realize you can pick crossovers to fight against. That's kind of cool. I got distracted, my bad. The honorable mention will go to Yumiko on the down sig, if I can find her. The Wisps. I just made a video about this a few days ago, talking about how she has the most unique hammer in Brawlhalla, and that's what I mean by, like, how can you judge which is better, right? Like, I think Cassidy's is insanely good, but Yumiko's just operates completely differently. Like, no other move in the entire game works to the extent of area denial that Yumiko's orbs or wisps do. And I think it's just such a huge tool for Hammer, because Hammer's a weapon that's already super good at controlling space. The amount of coverage that Nair has, I mean, like, just look at that. It's crazy. Side air. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Downlight into side air is just like an insane kill option that covers so much space on the ground because of how fast you can downlight. Sidelight also has that aerial hitbox that's super good. Like, Hammer controls so much space on its own, and then add in the fact that you have these, and you've just got a completely unique, super powerful hammer that is very, very difficult to fight. I mentioned it just a couple minutes ago, but let's talk about Wushang Spear side sig, because in my opinion this is the best side sig in the game, or best spear sig in the game, excuse me. So what is Spear's biggest weakness, you may wonder? In my opinion, it's grounded killing power, because Spear has area denial. It has a great amount of combo potential. With the downlights, you know, I actually could have even gotten a triple downlight there. Sidelight, having no variable force, makes it so it always sets up in the perfect spot. Downlight is incredibly good at killing, but the thing is, all of those options that are good at killing, you know, comboing won't help you when it comes to a kill. It only helps when you're building up damage. Recovery is super good, but, you know, that's only an aerial hitbox. Sair is very good, but it has to start from the air. Downlight does not hit people on the ground, so what is its weakness? Well, it's grounded killing power. Because like, this won't kill someone, this won't kill someone. To kill someone on the ground, either you have to go for something like this, highly punishable, reactable, or something like a grounded side air, which is also reactable. The thing is, Wushang does not care about any of those rules. He plays by his own rules, because he has this move, which is incredibly fast. Generous hitbox, also has a bit of an aerial hitbox too. You can GC it to hit people in the air and on the ground, excuse me, to extend the reach, the vertical reach. It's just incredible. You cannot react to it. You cannot really punish it as long as they space it well. And if you're not prepared for it, there's a 0% chance you're punishing this. It's just incredible. Like, you cannot go wrong with this signature. This signature is like single-handedly a reason to pick Wushang over other Spear Legends. It's just so good. Like, you keep someone in the corner, like, what are they gonna do? What is Miss Lara gonna do here? She's gonna die. So, for honorable mention, I will pick, if I can find her, Queen Nai with her Spear Ensig. Now, this signature, similar to the Wushang, it hits grounded. So that's a big plus. But unlike Wushang, it also has combo potential. That is inescapable. If you have a GC, that is. Apparently I didn't there. As well as having an aerial hitbox. So she just teleported twice and avoided the signature. I mean, again, honorable mention, so I'm not going to go into too many details, but you can downlight into Ensig. It has long active frames, so right there you saw how it was active for a while. Huge hitbox. I mean, just look at that range. Look at that range. That's crazy. And it hits grounded. Fantastic signature. In my opinion, one of the 2 best Spear Sigs in the game. Now, when we come to Gauntlet signatures, I don't think it's a surprise that I've locked in Petra. The question is, which one will I pick? And I'm going to pick the Ensig. Wow, I just missed. I'm gonna pick the Ensig because, I mean, it's actually, I just realized this is kind of like a Queen Nai Ensig, but on gauntlets. But the reason why is that it adds so much utility to Petra's kit. You know, the side sig is incredible on its own, that's for sure. And, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of spoiler. The side sig is the honorable mention. I think Petra has the 2 best gauntlet sigs in the game, or of 2 of the 3, because I don't think this one is one of the best. But the reason why I'm picking Ensig over the side sig in terms of just the #1 spot is that you can string. So let's say Lara here wants to do a neutral dodge. Okay, I sidelight, Ensig, dead. Okay, let's say they want to do an up dodge. Sidelight, Ensig, dead. Okay, well, cool. Let's say they want to dodge out. Sidelight, Ensig, dead. Okay, well, cool. Let's say they want to dodge out and diagonally. Sidelight, Ensig, dead. It's just like, you have another sidelight. Like, Gauntlet Sidelight is already so good on its own, and now you have another one that also kills. It's just fantastic. And it hits grounded, and it's hard to punish. It catches people's landings. It's just fantastic all around. I don't think I need to talk much more about that, but let's talk about the side sig for the honorable mention. So this thing is extremely fast. You cannot punish this move. Like, it's so hard to punish. It has active input, by the way. Not everyone knows that, but if you hold up, you send people up. So that's kind of cool if you hit someone like this. It's better to hold up. Extremely quick gauntlets, kind of like Spear Struggle, more to kill on the ground than they do in the air because they have recovery and they have side air, as opposed to the ground where they have downlight to get a combo and they have endlight to knock someone out if they're super deep. But generally speaking, their aerial kill options are better, especially off stage compared to on stage. And this is just an insane grounded kill option that you get a burst of speed, a burst of momentum, and you really cannot punish it. So this sig is incredible. That's why it gets the honorable mention. Alright, up next we have Cannon. So let's shift over to another legend here. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Does anybody know? Take your guess right now, because it's gonna be, if I can find, I literally can't spell. Okay, it's gonna be Onyx. It's gonna be Onyx side sig over here. Speaking about hitboxes, we were talking about crazy hitboxes earlier. Okay, so it has this aerial part first, so if someone's jumping, they won't be able to escape, and then, yeah, it has the ground slam. If this hitbox looks familiar, it's because it's very, very similar to the JN Greatsword side sig, as well as that grounded splash. So the thing is, Lara's trying to jump. No, you're not. You're not trying to jump. You're trying to stay on the ground, you know, not escape any of the, or not get hit by any of these cannon nairs or anything like that. JK, you're not on the ground, you're dead. This sig, and then just look at the speed. Okay, pretend that you're in game right now. Oh, yeah, okay, blah, 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 blah. You're trying to react to what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? You did not react to that. I mean, okay, maybe you reacted to me hitting my keyboard because sound reaction time is actually faster than visual a lot of the time. You did not react to the animation. Like, this is so fast. You cannot react to this. Incredibly strong. You can see the force of it. The recovery time did get nerfed, but it's still super, super, super hard to punish, despite that. And then on top of it, it adds to Cannon's kit. Cannon is a weapon that's super good at keeping you in the corner. And then when you have a move like this that covers just so much space, getting back from the corner is exponentially harder against an Onyx. They also have Ensig, which is even more coverage. But like, you add all of this together, you have this endlight, you have the sidelights to knock you off stage, you have the side airs to move you off stage constantly, and then like, how are you gonna get back? Well, turns out you didn't. Sorry. Speaking about things that make it hard to get back, the honorable mention for the cannon is going to be, drumroll please, Cidra Cannon Ensig. I don't think this is either a surprise either, because this move has a projectile that explodes, and then you can also have a hitbox out at the same time. Like, look at this coverage that I have. That is crazy. Like, you can literally have 2 hitboxes out at the same time. You cover someone trying to come back high. Oh, well, oh, I guess they got hit anyway because it was active for a while because it's a projectile. Oh, they're trying to go high. JK, now you're dead. Well, I missed my combo, so you're not dead. Thank your lucky stars, though. I would not do that in a real game. I promise. But like, okay, they're gonna try and contest this recovering high, and then they get hit by endlight, and then it creates a mix-up game where, okay, you're trying to escape the endlight, so then the Cidra just backs up and then punishes you with sidelight. It creates this whole extra mind game where I'm just gonna sidelight the Lara off. It creates this whole extra mind game of trying to get around this hitbox that will kill you, and then also avoiding the Cidra that is simultaneously trying to kill you as her cannonball runs towards your face. So this move is incredibly good. That's why it gets the honorable mention. It is more utility, I would say, than the Onyx one, so again, it's like comparing apples and oranges, but it is incredible signature on its own. Alright, up next we have blasters. I don't think this one's going to be a surprise either. I don't think most of these will be a surprise, but we're talking about, yeah. I don't think there's much to say that hasn't been said. This was also in my like best signatures in the game video, I'm pretty sure. Just look at the hitbox. His head has a hitbox, and then he has just this huge explosion. It kills off the top. It kills grounded. Blasters, the way they're going to kill grounded is with downlight, which is higher risk. You can GC this and then move out of the way. Very difficult to punish if the Barraza player spaces it correctly. Because it has so much coverage, it's very difficult to miss this move if you space it correctly. Kills, good hitbox, like good coverage, it's got everything. So everything you could want in a signature. The honorable mention for blasters, I'm going to pick something that may actually be a surprise, which is Diana's side sig. And the reason why I'm picking this, like I don't think this will be a lot of people's picks, but it's because of the hitbox and the coverage. You see how this thing has an aerial hitbox, then a grounded hitbox, and if you GC, it also gives a lot of momentum and movement. If you GC it, it has extra coverage because it's going to hit someone on the ground and even higher in the air. I just missed there, that's my bad. It's very... I probably shouldn't say this after missing it, but it's actually very difficult to miss this move if the opponent is in the right spot. So like right there, the Lara Croft was under it, and like throwing it out there honestly is not even a big deal because you get the momentum. You could Sair them right there if you don't miss your jump accidentally. It's just got a lot of coverage, and I think it's something that guns are kind of missing because the way they kill you is by getting close to you despite guns having range. So either they kill you with side airs when they're far away, or they kill you with downlight when they're close, or recovery when you're close. And this just adds an additional kill option that's like a leaping grounded attack that also hits in the air. Again, I think it's difficult to miss if you space it properly on the ground, and I just think it's super good. So that's why it gets the honorable mention. Up next, I'm going to talk about Orb. And when we talk about Orb, there's only one character that matters when it comes to signatures, and it's Fate. Because both of these two, the number one and the honorable mention, are going to go to Fate. And I'm picking Fate's Orb Ensig for the number one, if only because Downsig, as good as it is already a kill option because of Orb Sidelight Sair just has so much strength. And Orb does struggle a little bit to kill when someone's above you because they need to hit a recovery, and recovery doesn't have the most amount of force. And so I'm just going to talk about this Ensig. Again, this is a sig that's been in 3 videos, so I don't need to talk about it too much, but I mean, look at this hitbox, look at the speed, look at the force, look at trying to punish this is impossible. It's just got everything. This sig is a miracle in action. I mean, she's a magician, so it makes sense. But yeah, this sig, and then the honorable mention goes to the down sig, which again, I don't think that needs much explanation either. Super fast, killing power, disjoint, active input, it's got everything. Literally everything. Fate is the queen of Orb, and it's not even close. It is not even close. Yeah, she's good. For Lance, I'm gonna pick Scarlet's down sig. If you've noticed a trend in the powerful sigs, it's these hitboxes, and Scarlet has got some, I don't even know what to call these, like 2015 Brawlhalla beta hitboxes. Just yeah, I don't know. People are talking about, or people talk about often how there's power creep because new legends like Volkov, for example, their signatures have different options. You don't need different options if you have a hitbox like this. Like, one option is enough. Actually, kind of interesting game theory type of thought. If you have one broken option, I honestly think that's that can be better in many ways than having multiple, because your game plan is a lot more straightforward. That doesn't necessarily apply to this, although, I mean, off stage, someone's off stage, they try to come back, no, sorry, you're not coming back. Or if you do come back, you're not going to punish me for this. No chance. It used to have this bug where it would just have 0 force. Now it doesn't have that anymore, so it's like, I mean, it's more of a bug fix than anything, but I mean, it just adds to the strength, because sometimes you get away with just not dying. Still happens sometimes, but it's very rare. Yeah, this say, I mean, you can just look at it. Sometimes you can just look at something. You don't really need an explanation. Lance also, with the recent patch, Silent Recovery is no longer true, so grounded kill options are even more important. And you've got a grounded kill option right here. You push someone into the corner, peace. For honorable mention, let's go over to our good friend, Lord Raxx. Because this move, If it weren't so crazy in terms of its kill power, maybe I wouldn't pick it, because it is punishable, at least sometimes from above. Its hitbox isn't the largest, although it still grabs unexpectedly like that. I'm sure you didn't think this would hit from right here, right? I mean, this is pretty far away, right? No, just kidding. It grabbed. You GC it, and once again, it extends the hitbox above it. Yeah, it's a reversal. And reversals are moves that have potential to kill extremely early, because you can use them like right here and you'll catch someone. And this on its own already kills in like orange, so honorable mention to the Raxx down sig. This move, yeah, this isn't real. This is a fake move. Let's go to Katars. Now Katars I was debating, because I was thinking that people probably wouldn't agree with my decisions, but I'm like, whatever, they're my decisions, it's what I think. So, you know, everything in this video is opinions anyway, so, you know, if you have your own opinions, feel free to leave them, and then we can discuss it and talk about it. It's not like it matters that much anyway. It's just, I think it's fun to talk about. But yeah, I think it's this side sig. I think Caspian Katar side sig is super good. It doesn't have the most killing power because it's Caspian. It's also Katars. Katar sigs generally don't have the most killing power, but its hitbox is kind of crazy. Also, I'm playing as Diamond Head, so it might be a little misleading, but yeah. Its hitbox is kind of crazy because it's a projectile, and like we were talking about earlier, the strength of projectiles, it means that there's a disjoint here, because I cannot be hit compared to where my hitbox is, and that's always something good to have. Like, disjoints are extremely useful. It's why Lance has so much priority. And this is a signature that has a disjoint, and it's a killing sig, and it's unreactable, and it's super quick, and it's hard to punish. I think it's just fantastic all around. I think it's great. So yeah, it gets my #1 spot. It also, like, even though it's a projectile, if you're close, it'll still hit because he tosses it right next to him. So it's fairly simple to hit, fairly straightforward signature. You can do it out of strings, like let's say, oh, Lara Croft, okay. I'm gonna do a side light, and then I'm gonna do a side sig, and if you spot dodge, you're dead. And I'm gonna do a down air, and then a side sig. If you spot dodge, or if you dodge out, you're dead. I'm gonna do a nair, and then I'm gonna do a dash side sig, and if you like don't get it, or if you don't jump out of that, you're dead. It's just fantastic. I think it's a very good signature. I think Caspian in general has good sigs. Let's go to the honorable mention, which is gonna be the dunk. I don't think it's it's a surprise. The dunk. It's a reversal that's vertical. Katar's offstage game is already super strong, and this makes it even stronger. Its hitbox is humongous. Like, look at this thing. Look at this hitbox. This isn't real. Like, look. Yeah. And it also covers a ton of dodges out of N-Light. Because this is an honorable mention, I'm not going to go over every single one, but doing an N-Light into N-Sig is a pretty surefire way of catching a dodge, as long as your opponent doesn't mix them up. So, very good signature, very good hitbox, early killing. Asuri is very scary. I don't like cats because of this character. For bow, I'm going to pick Ember's Bow N-Sig. Honestly, I feel like this sig is extremely slept on, and I think it's the best bow sig, because, like, look at this hitbox. Speaking about disjoints, I mean, this is a disjoint and a half. It picks up grounded and aerial. It strings out of sidelight, so doing something like a sidelight into N-Sig is a very good string, if they don't get knocked off stage like that, that is. It's just super good all around. It covers a ton of dodges, it covers a ton of space. Bow is already a weapon like Hammer that excels at covering space, and this sig just adds even more. When you play against an Ember, you always have to think about this N-Sig, as long as the Ember is like using it effectively, because you can literally win matches by just doing this. Maybe I shouldn't say that, people in the comments will get mad at me, but yeah, you can literally win matches using only this move because of how much space it covers. And the reason why I think it's slept on is because Ember in general is kind of slept on. But yeah, I genuinely think this is the best bow sig. For honorable mention, we gotta go over to the big boy. This character who has won a world championship. The Plank. The Tatami Mat. I like calling it the Plank because it kind of looks like the Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. I don't know their name though. I guess I'm a fake fan. But yeah. Speaking about hitboxes, again, the general trend, we're talking about good signatures here, so of course every signature is going to have a great hitbox. This thing is wild, it hits underneath the stage. I talked about it in my best sigs in the game video. Yeah, everything about this sig is fantastic. Space coverage, you're not going to punish it. Even if it doesn't land, like, it creates this fear in the opponent where you cannot contest this space. Like, oh, Koji's hovering you here? Oh yeah, you got to get out of there because you might just do this, and then you might just die. Unless you're -182 Lara Croft on Crystal Temple, then you may not die. But yeah, generally speaking, sig is crazy. Use it a lot. For the final two weapons now, we're going to revisit our good buddy Barraza because of this move. Yeah, I think this is like best axe sig in the game. It doesn't have the most utility comparatively because it doesn't hit grounded, but the amount of force this has for being a reversal and for how much coverage you get. I mean, just look at this. Just look at the hitbox and then look at this, like the amount you jump. Like using this off stage is already like incredibly strong on its own. You don't even need the insane force, and then you add on the insane force and this thing like kills in yellow. You will get kills in yellow if you do things like this. If you GC it, someone's trying to ground pound you, JK, they're dead. Crazy. I think this probably needs a force tweak. Punishing it is very difficult because of how much you jump away. Very safe to throw out comparatively to its strength. Like the amount of risk reward is definitely in the favor of reward. It's just fantastic, incredible. This sig, yeah. When I play Barraza, I don't even know. I just like standing still and end sigging. Maybe I'm a weirdo for other reasons probably than that, but yeah, this sig is super good. Honorable mention goes to our good buddy, the Macho Man, for this move. Now this is more traditionally a good signature, I would say, because it hits grounded, it hits aerial, it gives Axe another option, because Axe's grounded kill options are either downlight when they're at 1,000,000,000% or endlight, which is higher risk. And this is just another one that is super fast. It also spikes, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but if you hit with the bottom like this, the bottom of these giant things, also look at the giant things, it spikes. I missed. You can use it out of strings, so like at lower HPs, if someone's like, oh yeah, I can escape that general axe strings, you know, when someone goes for sidelight near ground pound, I can escape that, and then they hit you with one of these, and then you just get hit, and then they hit you down air, and then they hit you with one of these, and then they hit you with one of these, and then, yeah, this is another sig where you can just win an entire match just using this move because of how good it is and how much utility it adds to Axe's kit. So that's the honorable mention. Okay, but we're nearing the end here. I'm getting tired. I need some agua. So let's talk about Scythe. Let's talk about the two final Scythe sigs, which is okay. They didn't recover. I thought they would try and recover back to the stage, but they didn't. I think the best one is this because, I mean, just look at it. You're shooting out like bats at people. Of course, that's gonna be the best sig. Extremely fast. Extremely powerful, super good in 2v2 by the way, but kind of unrelated to what I'm talking about. You can spike people with it, you can send people backwards with it. It's a reversal and a spike. So we talked about how a Suri is good because of it's a spike. Well, who had a reversal? Barraza's is good because it's a reversal. Yeah, this is both of those in one. And it's also on Scythe, which tends to struggle to kill. And it can send them off stage, which is where Scythe is very good at killing. And it can send them behind you, which is like, oh, sorry, you're in a bad position. No, JK, you're in a bad position because I just sent you behind me, even though you pushed me into the corner. Extremely fast. Use it out of strings. Use it in combos. Use it all the time. I could have spiked there, but I want to extend their life, you know. I'm a caring guy. I'm a charitable vampire here. So yeah, that move is very good. The other one I'm gonna pick, and you may think it's gonna be Mordex, and I may be controversial here, but for the honorable mention, I'm actually gonna pick Mirage for this move because I think Mirage's Scythe Ensig is actually better than Mordex's. Pre-patch, that's another story, but Mordex has been patched a lot, whereas this move has not really been patched. As you can see, it hits grounded, it also hits aerial, it's also extremely fast and you cannot react to it, and also, and this is the real kicker, the real key, because Nyx's Ensig has all of those except for the grounded one, but it has this. Sidelight into Ensig. If you don't have a dodge, this is inescapable. It is a kill combo far, far earlier than anything that you can do out of sidelight other than this. Like, this is just an additional option to Mirage's kit that you have to play around. Because if you get hit by this in like dark orange on the corner of the map, you're just gonna die. It's over for you. So this is the honorable mention. I know, Mordex fans, I'm sorry. Mordex is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just gonna pick this one. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope that was insightful. I hope you're not too mad at me for talking about signatures, because people always get mad at me when I talk about signatures, because then a lot of people use those signatures, and then people lose to those people using those signatures, and then they themselves start using the signatures, and I create a bunch of monsters. So don't become monsters. Become mobsters and ask your mom for mammoth coins. Okay, goodbye.